Yes, we're alive. I am sure someone would soon say, why are you always excited at the beginning of your program? Of course I should be, because I know what is about to happen. I know what is about to happen to your mind. I know what is about to happen. So welcome, guys. Hi, Fidelio, thank you for joining. Good to see you all. Thank you for joining. Lolifizo, Damiu, thank you, guys. Good evening, everyone. Good to be here again. This is great. This is great. Tonight we're having a very special conversation. Holamai, thank you for joining. Good to see you. Great to have you on the call as well. Thank you guys for joining. We're having a very special conversation tonight. We're having an amazing conversation, but not just about the conversation. We're also having an amazing guest. Your life is about to shift, literally, on this call. For those of you who are already here, hi Sandra, good to see you. Your life is about to shift. There are people we call activator. You know, when you listen to them and you are open-minded, you listen to them, it activates something in you, right? And you get to become a doer immediately. You get to work. It's not that you are aspire to aspire and you listen, you are motivated. No, you get to work. You start doing. And that's the type of conversation we're having. Nangi, I see you. Thank you for joining. So that's why I'm super excited. You can see, you know my excitement face. You know when I'm excited, it's different. And that's why I'm grateful for tonight's conversation. I'm grateful for the guests we're having. And I'm grateful for, you know, how this is going to really shift us. This is going to transform us. So thank you all for being a part of this. Just a quick introduction. And guys, please, if there are people you know that should be here tonight, this is the time to invite them. Please post these links on your profiles, on your status, on your WhatsApp, with your communities, with your friends. They need to be here because after this session, I know 3 or 4 things will happen. You will leave here with ideas that you can run with. You will leave here with insights that can shift you. You will leave here with inspirations, instructions. Something will shift you in tonight's conversation. So I am so confident. So if you want to share this, please, this is the best time to do that before my guests join. We need to share this for the people at the back end as well to do that. And Hola, please help me share this at the community so that they can know. Hey, my guest is here already. No time to speak too much English. Thank you so much, sir. I'm bringing you up right away. There is no time. Thank you so much for being here very early as well. Thank you so much. Guys, our guest is here. Please, this is the best time to share this and to get ready for the session. So I'm going to send you an invite, or if you don't mind, okay, I can find you. I can actually send you an invite. Because there is no time. I was just about doing a little bit of a background to the program that we're having, the conversation that we're having. Hey!
How you doing? Good.
Good to see you,
Good
sir.
evening. How you doing?
Good evening, Nigeria.
How you doing?
Wow. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Good to see you, sir. How's been your day?
Long. I told you,
God.
I'm out of town. I've been driving for a couple of hours, but I'm good. Good roads. No police stop me on the road and all that. So we're good to
go. Nigerians, are you hearing? Wow. But thank you so much for being a part of this. Just before you joined, I was trying to do a little bit of a background to the type of conversation that we're going to be having today. And I was making audacious statements because I am so confident that those are the things that will truly happen. Because that is truly the reality. And for me, while we're driving, sorry about that. One of the reasons why I am pushing this type of conversation is because I know that wisdom is a weapon. And if we don't know, if we know better, we do better. And a lot of people are not aware of certain things. Some people are even saying, which one is global? I've not even conquered local. But that's why we're having this. Because if you're aiming for a C, you probably land on D. So you want to start aiming higher as a person. And that's why we're having all of these conversations. And it's such a privilege to have you, because I mentioned something before you joined, that there are people in life that are activator. So they don't just talk. You listen to them. It activates something in you and you get to work. And that is what you represent to me as well. You said certain things, so many things, and I ran with them, and I'm still swimming in the results and the outcomes of some of those things. Borderless Summit, for example, is one of them, which gave birth to this weekly series. You know, all of this from the Impact Challenge. And so thank you so much once again for being a part of this. And I just really want to say thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Awesome. I want us to start with really the foundation, because the conversation itself is really about renegotiating your relevance in the global economy. For a lot of people, they don't even know their relevance. Like, okay, when you say I should renegotiate my relevance, I don't even feel relevant. I don't know if I have a voice. I don't know if I have anything that should go global. I really want us to start from that side. Is this a thought pattern? Is it that there's still a discovery issue? How do we navigate this?
Well, first and foremost, Timmy, well done. And it's not too often that I say a yes to a lot of people to be on their Insta Live for several reasons. You know, I honor all men, but one of the things that you demonstrated, you know, it was what program was it that you attended again recently? That I did,
yes.
Challenge, Impact
the
Challenge.
Impact Challenge, yes.
And every time you would come live and you would turn on your camera, people don't know how simple that act was, because I could recognize you. Your body language showed me that you are interested in what I was speaking about. And that's how I took note of you. And then I now noticed that I think something happened when I followed you. And I noticed that for the Impact Challenge, you came live almost every day for about 30 days or something.
Yes. Yes,
you know, and that's why I decided and said, you know what, so when you asked me, it was a no-brainer for me to say and agree to be a part of this, you know. So first and foremost, well done to you. Number two is that I want to make something straight up front. Our conversation is not for everybody, all right? I was having a conversation with someone in Lagos yesterday, and I said that my conviction is that a very tiny percentage of the world is truly interested in what really matters. I'll tell you that a larger percentage of the world are only out to enjoy themselves. There are even songs that talk about that now. You know, I just want to enjoy myself. And it's and while I mean anybody's free to say what they want to say, the truth about it is that the fact about it is that you must desire something beyond the ordinary to stand out. Not many people want that. Many people want an averagely okay life that is better than their neighbor, that is comfortable, that they can post online and people can say they're doing well. You know, so when you start having a conversation about global relevance, that is like SS3 to a GSS to a primary one student. So I want to say that up front. So I know most likely that we're not probably going to have the highest numbers today. But I'm sure some people that, you know, are interested in this conversation about renegotiating your relevance in the global economy are the ones that are going to continue this conversation. So, but I'll tell you something, that for every one person that emerges like that, many more are inspired to do that, okay? So having said that, you know, I think that, you know, relevance, there's always a story that comes to my mind. And you brought Olukunle on board a few weeks ago. And he mentioned something that was very significant, you know, and that's the fact that as a public speaker in the Nigerian space, you know, very rarely would it go somewhere. There's nobody saying, good morning, sir, welcome, sir. Oh, how are you, sir? Can I take a picture? And all that. I mean, it happens to me. I mean, there are times I go out with people that are leaders to me, and we go out to a place, and between the car park and the front door of the event center or whatever, I've gotten like 10 people saying, good day, sir, how are you, sir? In fact, I remember one of them said to me, I need to be following you out. I said, no, you're my guy, you know. So but he said something very significant. He said, up until he gets to the international airport, the Murtala Mohammed Airport, that he keeps getting that. But the moment he lands at GFK, the moment he lands in Atlanta, the moment he lands in DFW, in Dallas or wherever, he just becomes a number. Somebody who visited the airport. And while there's nothing wrong with that, a lot of us are going to be like that in different spaces. But something inside him knows that there's greatness that is locked, that is meant to be recognized globally. Do you get my point? Yes. So we always talk about Honda, Toyota, and all those things, and we say they're actually names of people that have now gotten global acceptance because they're globally relevant. So that's why I said again, only a very small percentage of people are on the pathway called the pathway of significance. Very early in my career, I realized that there are three possible paths people can follow in life. You can follow the path of survival, which I believe that more than 90% of the earth is following, where the goal is just to survive. But survival is in degrees. Even that you have an okay, comfortable life is still a degree of survival. At least you made it to the end. Do you get my point? There's that category. There's a second category of people that are a bit more ambitious than just surviving. They want to be ahead of the pack. They want to be better than other people, all right? So when we talk about there's a generator in Nigeria, we tagged it, I better pass my neighbor, all right?
Yes.
It's not a generator, it's a mindset, meaning that in that space where that generator is usually used, most people's neighbors don't have a generator. So I am better than my neighbors, but you are still in the neighborhood. Never forget that.
Wow.
You are still in the neighborhood. And so people forget that because people are hailing you because of your generator. People are hailing you because you have a nicer car than them, but you're still in that same neighborhood. People are hailing in your village, but you're still from that village, all right? And so there's that dimension as that. But very few people pursue the path of significance. That is where concepts like legacy begin to resonate. Not many people want to leave a legacy. Many people don't want to live and live, L-I-V-E, and then L-E-A-V-E. Most people, that's what they want to do. Let me just live before I leave, all right? But the concept of significance says that beyond your physical presence, there is a resonance even beyond that. What I mean by that is that your absence still carries presence. The owner of Toyota, I mean, I drove 5 hours today from Dallas to Houston. I'm in Houston today and all that. I saw a couple of Toyota vehicles. The man, Mr. Toyota, is probably, I don't even know if he's still alive, but his name is still moving on earth. Now, for him to have got to that part, he pursued a path of significance. Listen to me, the people that will begin to embrace the concept of global are the very few that will decide and actually believe. I'm a man of faith, and I actually believe that in the first instance, in the original design of man, that man was designed for global expression.
Okay.
Every conversation from the onset spoke about global, be fruitful, multiply, subdue the earth, not your village, and have dominion over it. All right? So those conversations, you are the light of the world. You are the salt of the earth. Now, when many people read that statement, particularly from a survival mode, the meaning of that means, oh, I will drive a big car. I will live in a big house. That's not what it is. Now, when you become significant, you can afford a big house. You can afford a big car. But the big car is not the significance. So I'm laying the foundation so that those that need to leave this conversation can go. I am at the point in my life where I realize that carrying crowds does not pay. Carrying the few that are relevant and intentional will actually pay because the crowds follow the few in the future. And so that's the first idea, that you must be somebody that embraces the concept of living your life for significance. I worked many years in the banking sector, consulting, different areas, and I can tell you that the average employee is there to survive. Then there's another one that is there to compete and be ahead of others. But very few come into the space with a significance mindset. All right? And so that's the foundation for everything I've said so far. Now let's move further and begin to talk about the global economy, all right, and what this is really about. I mean, global speaks about the whole world, the continents, the countries, and all those kind of things. But there's an economy. The truth about it is this, that there is a global economy. There's now, if we were to quantify it in terms of dollars, for example, which is a global currency, it is in trillions of dollars that have been discovered and multi-trillions that are yet to be discovered. It is in trillions of dollars discovered and multi-trillions and perhaps zillions. We've not gotten to that stage yet.
We've not gotten there.
That are yet undiscovered. I heard that the Minister of Trade and Investment in Nigeria is against a country doing a bit of exploration because of lithium. All right, because they need them in the electric vehicles and all that. So Nigeria has that, and some of these countries are just trying to exploit, all of those kind of things. Yeah. Now, that's the lithium they've seen. There's lithium they have not seen that we don't know the value of. Do you get my point?
Yes.
So when you're talking about competing in the global economy, you realize, and I'll translate the Yoruba proverb, that until you leave your father's farm, you will not know your father's farm is small. You will think your father's farm is the biggest. There is a real global economy, and now let's say this to you. only very few believe that they have a part in it.
Okay.
So when you see Dangote, when you see Tony Elumelu, when you see some of these people taking a stake in their sector, what they are saying is that in this global economy, there's a place for me.
For me.
When you find people like Ibukamo Sika and other notable Nigerians, because most of us are probably from there, you will find out that what they are doing is taking a stake in the global economy. Let me even put it this way. Loads of employees in organizations never see themselves from a global perspective. I have a friend in Houston I'm seeing tomorrow. He's the global head of talent for a company called Puma Energy that has presence in 46 countries. Before COVID, he would travel almost every day. Today, Switzerland. I mean, he doesn't even have time. Time difference. There's no difference for him because time is time. Do you get my point?
Yes.
He's moving globally at that level, and obviously, is rewarded at that level, is recognized at that level. The resonance at that level is opening doors for him that the average person cannot walk in, simply because he says, I'm not just going to be in the talent space, I'm going to operate at the global level.
Yes.
Do you get my point?
Yes.
So the question is, why are you going to work? Are you on a journey to global? Why are you going to business? Are you on a journey to global? So in Nigeria now, we have Burger King. All right? Now, Burger King is every little place you find around us. We have Burger King and all that. But the concept is that this franchise can be in every nation of the world.
Yes.
So when somebody is selling laptop bags made from Adire material or laptop bags made from Kente from Ghana, are they thinking that a day will come that people will pay prime dollar for their laptop bags? So that mindset begins to affect what they do today and how they do what they do. You are dreaming primarily to the scope and the extent of the dream in your heart.
Yes.
If you think small, you can't see beyond small. Do you get my point?
Yes, sir.
So, in the last few years, you saw Jimi Tewe left Nigeria, Steve Harris left Nigeria, Prince Owe left Nigeria, Kunle Shiro left Nigeria, and there are some that have left that some of you don't even know, and all that. And the conversation really is why? Why? Now, on one end, we do have a responsibility to our nation, on one end. And I can tell you that nobody is taking the responsibility any less. But there's another responsibility to our generation that must not be limited by our responsibility to our nation. And that is the full expression of everything that we carry. Let me give you an example. When you look at our space, for example, that is the motivational space or the inspirational industry or whatever, you will find out that the global voices in that space, all of them are from America. How many global voices do you have from the United Kingdom? Very few. If you have, they resonate at a very low level. Listen to me. There are nations where they become global platforms. In music, Drake, Justin Bieber had to relocate from Canada to America to do well. There are certain places or scope because the American economy has built a platform. You know, when the Bible says a city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. There are some hills that are bigger than others. So when you set that city on that hill, the visibility is global. So we are looking at ourselves and we are saying we are not local Nigerian speakers. Yes, they are clapping for us everywhere, but there's something inside of us that can be appreciated and utilized and leveraged globally. That's why we are pursuing that. In the short term, when people pursue significance, very few people will understand them. In fact, most people will misunderstand them. But let me tell you, people only recognize you when you have results. So we're on a journey. All right, we're on a journey, but there's going to be results eventually. All right, so I've said all that. Now, let me just hone in on globalization or this global economy. There are a few drivers where that is concerned. Before 2020, that's the COVID era, people had an attitude towards global trade. All right, you had organizations do stuff like that. But in 2020, everybody was locked in, and so there was a push for people to go online to begin to have conversations across the world. In 2020, I did business with people in over 30 countries of the world. Before then, I probably once in a while would do something here and there and all that. But in 1 year, I did business across 30. In fact, some of the times, people had a problem paying me because my platform could not accept their currency.
Oh, wow.
So I had to upgrade my platforms so that I can collect global wealth. Do you get my point? So today, there's no country you want to send me money from. I can accept all currencies. Some people cannot accept. If I tell them I want to send you $500 today, they cannot collect it. And it's just proof they're not thinking globally. Do you get my point? But let's move forward beyond that. There are 3 drivers I see. The first one is that with post-COVID, there was an adjustment of people's attitude towards global trade. The platform of the internet essentially made people start transacting globally. All right? People started saying, oh, let me export what I'm doing. There's always a story I like to share all the time about somebody that I've mentored, Steve Harris has mentored and all that. She teaches Yoruba in the city of Ibadan. She has a master's in Yoruba. I remember when she attended my program in 2020. But today, from Ibadan, I think she's even relocated to Lagos now and all that. But when she was in Ibadan, she started selling Yoruba courses to people in diaspora who want their children to understand Yoruba, and were paying her in dollars. Meanwhile, there's somebody that has a lecturer that has PhD in Yoruba. He's not thinking like that. He's only happy that at least there's a fenukbe. I'm just speaking. You know, they are boxed in a limited space, but she's doing much more. So number one, there was an adjustment of people's attitude towards global trade. Number two is the advent of technology. Zoom has grown as an organization faster in the last 3 years. Every platform, Microsoft Teams, Google Meet, all of them, they have scaled their technology faster in the last 3 years simply because they are trying to catch up with the people's attitude towards utilizing technology now. It's now a norm for us to do what we're doing. At this point in time, you have to beg people to show up online. And now technology brings 3 things, all right? The first thing, and I wrote it down, is technology brings reach. I'm reaching people I've never met before. I'm reaching people. Listen to me. A lady one time, this was a few years ago, those days on Instagram, on the explore page at the top, when people go live, they had random people that you just see people live. I went to Port Harcourt to go and do an event. And that lady, I entered the place. Apparently, she was the manager of the place. And while I was talking to her, she said, "So, excuse me, were you on Insta Live last week?" Because it wasn't very popular. I said, "Yes, I was." She said, "Wow, I watched you. I was in London. I was bored. I went to explore, and I just clicked it, and here you are in my office."
Wow.
Who would have imagined that could ever happen? But listen to me. How many of you have friends you met during COVID I've never met before? Even to today, you have not met, and yet they're your friends. So that's the thing that technology, it brought reach. Number two, it brought connection. Some of us have internet friends that we are closer to them than even those around us today.
Absolutely.
Or there are people that when you meet them today, you feel like you have known them all your life, but you met them only online. And lastly, with technology, trust has been built. People have more confidence taking their card details today. And now, all of these are facilitating something called global trade. You remember I said at the beginning that there are trillions of dollars discovered and multi-trillions undiscovered. All right? But I'm telling you that to plug into that, you need to be able to leverage, number one, the people's adjustment of mindset to global trade. Number two, technology. Number three, population growth. Did you know that every year the global population increases by 1.1% every single year? That's 83 million individuals, 83 million customers coming into the world every single year. Listen to me. In 1800, we had about 1 billion people. Today, we have 8.3 billion people. 8.3 billion customers. Some can't pay. Some you can't reach. But a lot more. With the advent of technology, you are able to reach. Now, don't think I'm talking about money alone. Money is inclusive, but you are able to influence people for good. You are able to change people's lives you have never met before. On this Insta Live, somebody is watching us that did not know us. Maybe somebody forwarded it to them. And today they are being blessed just by hearing us. So number one is the adjustment in the attitude towards global trade. Number two is technology. Number three is population. Now, all of this is facilitating. Look, money is moving per second. Look at these companies: Flutterwave, Paystack, my friends come Investi, all of them. One thing I noticed, they are talking about how they are doing daily transactions of billions. It didn't happen before. What does that mean? It means money is moving faster. The only problem is it moving towards you. That's the only problem. May we not hear about it. You know, there's a place in the Bible that says, only with your eyes will you see it. You know, it's happening right now. People are hearing about wow, 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 but there's no wow in their life. Many times it's your attitude towards this globalization. Now, I know you asked me just one question. Can I still go on, or you want to ask me a question right now?
Please go on.
Okay, I should continue.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's fine.
You already answered
so now
the questions I would have asked.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Now, there are a few things I want to share. 4 ways. So the way I view global trade, because I like to teach, and I want people to understand that I view global trade as a big. Can you imagine somebody say there's no fish, and then went to Atlantic Ocean? It's impossible. Atlantic Ocean is end to end. Do you get my point? The Indian Ocean is end to end. You cannot tell. There's so much fish inside. The only problem is you need a hook to get out of that. Even though there's abundance, you must be equipped to be able to plug in. And that's the thing that is there. A lot of people don't understand what they have to be able to plug in to global trade, global wealth, and global relevance. The last thing I'm going to talk about is negotiating, but I'm going to come to that in a minute. So let's talk about how to engage this global reality that is there. The first hook I believe that every human has is what I call your unique competitive advantage. Your unique, in other words, what is it that Temi has that nobody really has? Now, I'm going to talk about maybe 2 of them. All right, one of them will be your giftings. Another one will be your area of passion. Let me start with passion, because you know I remember then that they used to tell us. Excuse me. They started saying things like they told us to follow our passion. Where did it get us? And I can understand. Listen to me. There's nothing as beautiful as an idea that meets its time. Let me tell you what's going on. The advent of technology opened your passion, your skill, your abilities, opened you up to the world where there's at least 1 million customers for what you carry. At least. Listen to me, you don't need more than 1 million customers for most of us. So what does Temi do? Temi does events like this. Temi has a Borderless conference that's coming up. Temi, let me ask a question. If 1 million people paid you $100, do you know that's $100 million?
Wow.
Temi, will you be able to function for a few years based on that?
Absolutely. I'll go and resign first. I'll be breathing.
Now, the problem was this. In the beginning of conversations about passion, you know, your dreams, follow your dreams and all that, those things were spoken from an esoteric point of view. They had no pragmatic side to them. What I mean by that is this, that somebody says, oh, my passion is speaking, but they don't understand the application of training. That where you get paid for speaking is not speaking, is training people on a course that is relevant.
Yes.
Do you get my point? So there's nothing wrong with following your passion. The only thing that is wrong is if your passion has no traction to bring a solution to a generation. That's the problem. So your passion must birth a solution to a set of people. I have my conferences, exponential conference. One of the things I do very well is that I inspire people. Now, you know, there's this aspire to perspire, you know, there's this mindset, oh, that, and for many years, I ran away from that. But when I came to America, tell me, I have a friend in Houston, I'm seeing him today or tomorrow. His name is James. Do you know what he sells? Encouragement, Timmy.
Wow.
Encouragement. I'm not saying I'm that the name of his company is called Encourage X. His customers are BMW, universities, Vanderbilt University, different places. What does James sell to them? Encourage. I'm not lying to you. They pay him dollars to sell it. And how does he do the encouragement? What happens that they discovered, for example, that when people attend trainings, after the training, they get discouraged because they are trying to apply it and it doesn't always work. So what they do is that they take the content of the training and create little bits, tidbits here and there, and they send it either daily or twice a week or by text. So you get something to encourage you to keep trying. And that has increased performance post-training by at least 27%. So companies have signed up to his platform for 2-3 years now. They are paying is a subscription. Selling encouragement. Now, listen to me. You might not be able to sell encouragement in Nigeria. You might be discouraged because I told you not every country is a platform for what you carry. You must begin to think about that country or that place that you are able to use your platform or the platform that can spread your gifts. I sell inspiration. What does inspiration mean to Fortune 500 companies? It means global retreats. It means the CEO comes and says, our new target for the new year is $500 billion. And last year, they did 90 billion. And they bring Jimi Tewe in. And in one session, he's able to get all the executives across all the subsidiaries to agree that this thing is possible, even though they did not believe it was possible before.
Wow.
That is the application of what I carry. Because before now, all I think I was used to do is come on Insta Live and just be inspiring people. But I can take my gift, my passion, and begin to use it at a level, at the global level. So that's my goal. A day is going to come, you're going to see Jimi Tewe, Wall Street, Steve Harris, Wall Street, Kule Shoriyo. I mean, you're going to see it's going to happen. Why? We have decided to pursue significance in the path of life that we have. So what is your significant competitive advantage? Because in any organization, listen to me, it's not enough to have basic skills. Something must differentiate you. Every one of us is designed different already. Unfortunately, we are not able to interpret our difference to bring common solutions to others. That's the work people need to do. Number 2, let's move beyond that. The second point I have here is that you must increase the ceiling of your dreams. You must, to function in this, you need to increase the ceiling of your dreams. Let me put it the way you just said. Launch out into the deep. Listen to me. Too many people are fishing by the seashore. You don't catch sharks every day by the seashore. But one sharks, you have to go inside. If I ask people sometimes, listen to me. One of the things that a survival mindset does is it limits many times what you desire. Most people, listen to me, a lot of people in Nigeria that were dreaming before have lost their dreams. I'm telling you that for free. Because they have allowed the environment to submerge them. What sinks a ship is not the water outside, it's the water that has gotten inside. So a lot of people are not dreaming again because all they want to do is have enough money to pay for diesel. All they want to do is have enough money to pay for, basic. So they've shifted from dreaming to, and that's what happens if you are not intentional about rising above your conditioning in your environment. Raise the ceiling of your dreams. Some of you are hearing me saying, oh, that Jimi Tewe, Steve Harris. You just heard me say that we're going to be facilitating retreats, corporate retreats for CEOs on Wall Street. They're like, this guy, they dream. Oh. You see, that's the thing. You are correct. I did dream. You did dream. Everybody, look, some people are dreaming. That's how crazy it is. They are dreaming and they are going to space. Elon Musk is building a hotel in space. Already. This world belongs to dreamers. That's why I said very few will resonate with the concept of operating at global. And in our default mode, God made us to think globally. It is Sakba. It is life that has happened to people that has made them reduce the velocity or the bandwidth of their capacity to dream. Let me tell you something. And I want to say this particularly to Nigerians. I'm coming to Nigeria in a few weeks. And one of the reasons why I'm bringing my program to Nigeria and all that, maybe we'll talk about that later, is because I know that there's been an attack on the minds of people, that people only want to survive right now. In fact, the concept for some people to japa is even survival. I didn't come to America to survive. No, I came here to take over. And if you come to America with a survival mode, you will get a good job, $80,000, $130,000. You will buy a house, you will buy a car, and you will settle. Me? You think it's car or Range Rover that I came to buy? Beyond that, I've told you where the goal is. Wall Street. We're going to go to China. We're going to take this thing. My books will be published in Indian language, whatever it is called. Published across the world. Raise the ceiling of your dreams. Raise the ceiling of your dreams. Number 3 is you must operate from boldness.
Yes.
Globalization is not easy. It's not for the faint-hearted. No. It's not for regular people. Listen to me. You can't be regular and become extraordinary. They don't work that way. You can't, like they always say back then, you can't be a lizard in Nigeria and then move somewhere and become an alligator. No. You have to change, if there's a way, from lizard to alligator and operate from that point. Listen to me. Boldness. You know, I gave an example earlier and I said when we did the impact whatever, you put your camera on. That's how I saw you.
Yes.
Do you know some people did not put their camera on because they were shy?
Yes.
And because of that, I don't know them. But I know you. I'm now on your... If anybody had told you when you joined Impact Challenge that in a few weeks you will invite Jimi to your platform, you believe it?
No.
You wouldn't. Boldness gives you visibility. Listen to me. The world belongs to the bold.
Yes, sir.
The world belongs to the bold. I tell people that one of the biggest things that the Spirit of God in you will do is that it will increase your boldness. Listen to me. There are so many sharks in the world. Enough to feed. If you want to be eating shark, we don't want to eat tilapia any longer. There's enough shark to feed the whole world. But to chase a shark, you have to be greater than a shark.
Yes.
The idea of having a lion mindset, that even in Nigeria, so somebody right now, listen to me, is earning 90,000 naira. And based on what I'm saying, he's being reminded about the dream, about one app he wanted to create. And yet, the 90,000 is not enough. Yet he says, you know what? I will still do what I need to do. Listen to me, to pay off. With the right information, with the right association, I'm telling you, it will pay off. The world today belongs to the bold. People are launching apps, collecting $1 million. What are you launching? You can't launch if you are not bold. Forget about it.
Yes, sir.
I'm talking too much.
Sir.
The last one is probably the one I'm going to stop with. Is the largest one for me. It is you have to value collaboration. Listen to me. You can't do global by yourself. No. You can't do global by yourself. The concept of franchising recognizes that Burger King cannot, by themselves as a company, spread across the world. What they need to do is to create a franchise methodology that allows people buy into their dreams to accomplish their dreams. You know what I just said? They allow people to buy into their dreams to accomplish their dreams. Listen to me. You can't go global alone. Forget about it. You can't go global alone. Forget about it. So what am I looking for in America? Looking for the right people to collaborate with. Be on their platform. They be on my platforms. I'm having conversations with some companies, some leaders in some companies now. So there was a listen to me, Tewe. There's a conference I did for 7 years called the 7-Star Worker Conference. That conference, it didn't work like I wanted it to work. You know the reason why? Most companies in Nigeria don't want 7-star workers. They just want workers.
Okay.
Yes, they don't want 7-star. Yes, it was me that was thinking too big. But I'm in a place now that they value 7-star workers. So I'm bringing the conference to America. It will hold once a year. At a point, mark my words, thousands of people will fly from across America to attend my conference. I'm going to collaborate with top banks, top technology companies, and all that. They're going to know that there's a place where you can attract global talent. Is going to be in the 7-star worker platform. But I can't do that by myself. Collaboration is going to be the key.
Yes.
So I've spoken about 4 things. Number 1, you have to recognize
You need
and leverage your competitive advantage. Number two, you must increase the ceiling of your dreams. Number three, you must operate from boldness. Number four, you must value collaboration. Now, the last part I will talk about before I now like to take questions is this: renegotiating. There's somebody watching me right now. It's like, JT is putting me on fire. I know we all make that noise. No, I must become globally relevant. My brother, my sister, tomorrow, the probability of switching tomorrow is lower than the probability of you continuing at the level of vibration you have. To switch, there has to be some catalysis and then sustaining that catalysis over a period of time before you get transformed. One of the key things I do very well is I'm a transformational specialist. I recognize that transformation, there are triggers that can initiate transformation, but there are triggers that sustain it. And until it is sustained, you can't eventually get to the end of it. To become somebody that is thinking global, I had to change my environment, change the way that I live my life. I call it my upbringing, and intentionally have certain international experiences that shifted my mindset. I went for a conference in February in Houston. Funny enough, I'm in Houston again today. I came for a conference here and was organized by a Nigerian but based here. And I saw thousands of people in the hall. People that paid $5,000. And I said to myself, this thing is happening. This thing is, I couldn't see it in Nigeria. In Nigeria, we'll do the same. And listen to me, when he was talking with all humility, he made sense. But me too, I make sense. You get my point? Because from where I'm coming from, my own sense, they say is nonsense. Listen to me. One of the things about the global economy is you must find your right market. That you are located somewhere does not mean that that's your market. You must know that. And you must don't be sentimental. Being sentimental is one of the things that limits people.
Yes.
Listen to me. I'm not asking you to be irrational, but you have to be radical. I'm asking you to that. It's got to be radical. It's the way that life now, again, remember at the beginning I said, this conversation is not for everybody.
It's not for everyone.
Some people are listening to me are like, what is this guy saying? If you are the one, you are saying that, please log off. I'm wasting your time. Please, just vibrate where you are. But if you know that this thing is resonating with you, you are grateful for Temi to bring Jimi Tewe on board tonight. Please type, thank you, Temi. Type now. If it's you are talking, maybe not everybody, but the people I'm talking to, type, thank you, Temi, tonight. Because let me tell you something, the world has changed. And those that have repositioned themselves are the one now to renegotiate. Let me explain what it means to renegotiate. It means you recognize you had a bad deal initially. We stayed in a hotel. We're staying, my wife is speaking somewhere tonight. I'm a PA. So I drove her, I'm carrying her bag, taking her pictures, doing video for her. That's what I should do as a good husband, all right? And when they put us in a room, when we arrived, it's a nice room. In fact, they upgraded us to that room. It was a nice room, spacious, and all those kind of things. And so when we got to the room, I noticed there was a smell in the room, but I was like, I'm a guy. Those things don't really affect me. We move, like I always say.
We move.
So my wife goes to the restroom, calls and says, there's a smell here. I said in my mind, my wife has come again. I know where this is going to. He said, I'm staying there for 2 days. I can't come here and just endure because they're giving me a better. So she calls them at the reception and says, I'm sorry, there's a smell in this room and all that. Can I get another room? Guess what? They upgraded us again to another room.
Wow.
Listen to me. You see, life does not give you what you deserve. It gives you what you demand. And it does not give you what you demand one time. It demands what it delivers what you consistently demand that it knows you are not going to agree. It will give it to you. That's how life works. I'm 44 in a few weeks, and I can tell you that everybody I've seen that are doing well, this is the pathway that they follow. Very few will resonate at this level. Very few will understand the conversations, the borderless conversations that Temi is having. I'm telling you, Temi, don't be bothered. Listen to me now. Let me tell you the thing about the crowd. When I start doing trainings and, whatever, and you see me in Wall Street, you see 500 executives from at least 20 nations sitting down, Then the crowd say, Jimi Tewe. It's like, that's just life. But the process between now and then, they will never celebrate it. So it takes you being courageous. It takes you being visionary, removing the ceiling from your vision and your dreams and abilities. It takes you believing enough in yourself. Too many people don't believe in themselves any longer. Yes. And let me tell you one of the reasons why. Your environment can tell you a lie. I will tell you this. Nigeria has too many people a lie. Nigeria has too many people. You are not greater than this country. It is a lie. This is why when Nigerians, some of Nigerians, when they relocate, they start thriving.
Yes,
do you get my point? In fact,
yes.
the data is there. When, in fact, some people don't like Nigerians because when they come, they say they take over. The same person moves somewhere else. And that's why, listen to me, I tell people that I am a Nigerian, but I'm a global citizen. Let me tell you, I am first a global citizen today before being a Nigerian. Because you don't have to pay me. When you have global relevance, Nigerians will accept you. Who knew Tobe Amusho some months ago? Who knew her? Nobody knew her.
Nobody.
All of us are saying Tobe Amusho today. She broke another record yesterday. That's our girl. Listen to me. Everybody will be a family to somebody that succeeds, particularly globally. So you have to decide how you're going to operate. With these few points of mine, I hope you now know it is your choice, your decision to decide to renegotiate for global relevance. Thank you.
Wow. Oh my God. Guys, am I seeing your comments right now? I want to begin to see the emojis, right? Appreciation. Thank you so much, sir. You literally answered all the questions that I might have asked, touched every area, broke all the tables. Thank you so much, sir. This is amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My notes is full. I knew it was going to be another masterclass, so I came ready because I was going to write. Now is not the time to thank me. Yes, I thought I saw Tammy. Please thank Coach JT. Thank you so much, sir. This has been phenomenal. And I know that a lot of people who are not on the call who missed this. They dare not. They have to listen to this. This is the message that we need. It's like a typical door. It's not shouting that opens a door. If you have the key, go open the door right there. And these are the keys that we're looking for. And when we find it, it's time to begin to open those doors. Thank you so much for activating us tonight. As always, you've done it. You've done it again. Thank you so much, sir. For me, the questions I had, you already touched them. Apart from just one, you also, guys, if you have questions, this is the time to ask. I'm going to ask your questions as well, because by 9 p.m., just so that I don't take our guest time so much, we should be wrapping up. But if you have a question, one or two questions, I want you guys to take it. One of the things I've heard you say, and I literally wrote it down immediately I heard you, was when you said that one of the privileges of adulthood is the audacity to believe in yourself. And, you know, relating that to the conference that is coming up, because I saw the exponential conference, and I told myself, like, this is unleashing the bolder, the richer, and the global you. This is not something that we should miss. But I want you to speak a bit about that, what we should look forward to.
Listen to me. I am very clear in this season about my assignments. And like I said, sometimes the character of assignment makes you have to become selective in your reach. All right?
Yes, sir.
When I say things like a bolder, richer global you, somebody that is hungry cannot hear what I'm saying. I'm speaking French, and they don't understand French. Do you get my point?
Yes.
And it is easy for me to decide to downgrade the quality of what I want to say because I want to help everybody. But I'm at the point now that I don't want to help everybody. Listen to me. When I talk about the bolder, richer global you, I've actually spoken about it today. I'm saying to you that these dreams, the possibilities that exist in your future can only be maximized by a version of you that is bolder. I use the word bolder because it's not bold. You can be bold, and that's fine. Meaning that if you are bold today, you can be bolder. There's always dimensions to be able to operate in that. All right? So listen to me. There are too many. Listen, we know what technology has done. Technology has increased opportunity, the speed of opportunity. I'm telling you. Jobs, today on Twitter, you see jobs. LinkedIn, you see jobs. Internet, you see jobs and all that. It's faster. So the speed of opportunity has increased. But let me tell you one thing that actually happens with speed. People get afraid. When I was coming from Dallas today driving, the highest I could travel at 75 miles per hour. But the car that I was driving could actually go up until maybe 160 or 200 miles per hour. If I tried it, now the police will catch me, the state trooper will catch me. But even if the state trooper did not catch me, the moment you begin to increase speed, fear increases because your mind tells you you can have an accident. In fact, one of the reasons why many of us don't speed is not because of police, it's because of the fear of accidents. Now listen to me. The people that speed and ride faster if they do it safely. All right? But it takes a certain degree of confidence, boldness to speed. Look, some people are going to speed. Some of you need to renegotiate your career path. Some of you need to renegotiate your business or the scale or the breadth of it, what you are doing. I'm doing some business today that if you told me some months ago that I would do, I would tell you I'm not going to do, I will never do that. But I'm doing that today. I'm coming to Nigeria in a few weeks. Somebody reached out to me and says, oh, I think that we can have this collaboration. I said, okay, let's meet to talk. Before, I would always say, this is the one direction I'm going. Now, the truth about this is that I know I'm much older. Once I finish my conference in Lagos, I'm going to Rwanda. After Rwanda, I'm going to Ghana, back to Nigeria, and then to Dallas. Next year, I'm going to Australia. Next year, I'm going to Canada. Someone says, you know, the way you're just saying it, that's how easy it is to dream. If you vibrate at a certain level, in fact, it is only unbelievers that would think that what you're saying does not make sense. But I already have 3 meetings in Australia. I have 4 in Canada already that I'm going for next year already.
Wow.
So this conference, listen to me, I will never be doing this thing now if I'm not bolder. But there is a methodology to becoming bolder. And what I'm going to teach in that program is to help people to become bolder. Because, let me tell you, you know what I'm doing in Nigeria? One reason I'm doing in Nigeria. In Nigeria, fear has crept into the heart of people. People are afraid. They're not even aware that they're afraid. Things, you know, listen to, when things are going wrong around you, you slow down. Yes. I've ever been somewhere before, and the trees look, they want to fall, and all that. You slow down. A lot of people have slowed down. Now, while you must be cautious, you must still be making progress. It takes a version of you that is bolder in your career. There are newer jobs, newer opportunities, multinationals looking for skills. It will take boldness to do certifications, pay for it in this period. Some people don't want to pay for my program now because they say 100,000 naira. Hey, can I afford it? You don't understand that greatness always is preceded by sacrifice. So I'll give an example. Do you know for the conference, 30 people are going to be sitting close to me in front? I think about 20 to 30. Then the following day, I'm taking them out to lunch. Because I actually believe that one of the ways to decipher, you know, who's really interested is by payment. It's a general law. So I'm taking them to lunch, and in that lunch, I'm going to teach them about networking skills. Because again, I realized that if you can add that one to your boldness, to your global vision, and to your wealth mindset, it will totally change the game for you. Listen to me, there's money moving, and money moves by people. But most times, you don't have the right people. That's why you're not seeing the money. So I'm going to teach them that. Then after the conference, we're having a 90-day accountability. Tell me, I'm not making money on this program. The program I did is in May this year. I didn't make money on it, but that is my contribution to Nigeria. So when I say 100,000 naira, how much that in dollars? 100 and something dollars. No, I just bought a meal right now. I probably spent a huge percentage of that just eating alone. So that's what is driving me. All right. The second ticket is 50,000 naira. That's for people that actually will be in the hall also. They also get the 90-day thing. But let me tell you something. I realize a lot of people are afraid. Oh, if I spend this money now, let me ask you a question. That money that you're not spending, is it enough? Is it enough? Bold. Number 2 is richer. Listen to me. When we talk about richer, a lot of people want the outcome of richer. But I am very convinced today that the first place to be richer is inside your heart. And that is not some esoteric hanging in the air concept. It's a real concept. It is the way you approach things. You need $10,000 today. You're not saying to yourself, hey, I need $10,000. You say, okay, I need $10,000. Even though your mind does not know how, you say to yourself, there's $10,000 somewhere. And how do you switch and make that happen? I told them I'm going to Rwanda, I'm going to Ghana. I'm sponsoring these events. Many of them are myself. They told me, oh, Ghana, you know, and I buy my tickets. Someone says, but Jimmy, what if you kept your money? No, I know what I'm doing. It is the richer version of me that is doing these things. And listen to me, when you start doing it and vibrating faster, wealth and riches begin to fall into your hands. Let me tell you, Timmy, I'm going to meet at least one person on this trip that will land me at least $100,000 or more. I know that because I'm going to talk, I'm going to connect, we're going to look for opportunities, and it begins to grow from there. The last one is the global mindset. And I realized that a lot of people don't know what it takes to be bolder, to be richer, to be global. So it's a one-day event that leads into a 90-day accountability experience. If I'm charging 100,000 for 30 seats, by the way, people already pay for those seats, 50,000 for the next set of seats, and then for people that are going to join online, I think it's just maybe 25,000 or something like that. I am doing giveaway. Tell me, giveaway is what I'm doing. Do you get my point? And all that. So for those that want to be a part of it and all that, 24th of September is the D-Day in Lagos, all right? You can go to my bio and all that, you know, the information. You can send me a DM, someone will respond to you and all that. Get registered. Listen to me. Nigeria is lying to people. The world is, you are not in Nigeria. You are in the world in Nigeria.
Wow.
It's your mindset.
Okay.
Let's stop. Let's stop there.
Wow. Right? Wow. I hope I can be among the 100 because I want to be in front. I want to be close to you. I want to go for that.
Sometimes, tell me one thing, very powerful thing. Sometimes you don't have 100,000, but you have sacrifice. It's how bad you want it. It's how bad you want it. Let me tell you something. The things that have brought progress in my life have always been linked to some sacrifice I made all the time. Either my time, my money, or my energy. There's no greatness that comes on the path of ease. It doesn't work that way. Because if the path of ease, everybody walks that path. That's why greatness is not for everybody.
Yes.
It's a choice.
This is great. This is good. Guys, and I know, of course, you guys already know, after this call, please go to his page to read about it. We'll connect, we'll see physically on that day. It's already here. Thank you so much, sir, for that. I see we have questions. I don't know if you still have time to take these two questions.
Well, we can take a few questions. That's fine. No problem at all.
Okay, thank you so much. This person is saying that question for what if you're a person who doesn't admire being too seen, or you're not always posting on social media? Well, I believe this person is still talking about global relevance and all of that. So
I'll give you an example. There's a gentleman that I admire so much. His name is called Fola Adiola. Have you heard about him before?
Fola Adiola, no.
Fola Adiola.
No, not at all.
That's the thing. A lot of people don't know him. But he's the one who started GT Bank. Yeah, so himself and Tayo Aderonokun both partnered together and they created GT Bank. Now, let me tell you, Fola ran for vice president some years ago with Ribadu. And after that time, you will have not seen a picture of Fola Adiola. But let me tell you what has happened. He's now on the board of thousands of, not thousands, sorry, don't let me over exaggerate. Hundreds of companies. He's mentoring their CEOs and they're spread abroad. Listen to me, that people cannot see you, they must see your works. But if the worst one is that they don't see you, they don't see your work. Some people, we see them, but there's nothing behind them. Today they buy a Range Rover, today they buy a Jeep. We cannot trace where they're coming from. That's a different conversation on another day. But listen to me, if they cannot see you, even just said, if you don't believe me for my work's sake.
Okay.
Your work must be resonating globally. So you might not be on social media. Listen to me. For some of us, social media is a platform to drive our work. For many people, social media is a platform to be seen, to be looking okay. Meanwhile, they're not okay.
Okay.
That's the thing that is there. So it's not compulsory that they must see your face, but they must see your work. There are people that were in your class with me and all that. There's a lady that I'm not sure I saw her face. She registered for one of my coaching programs. I think it was $7,500 for it. I see her every 2 weeks now. So even though I didn't see her in class, she went beyond to register for my program. Listen to me. If we don't see you, let us see your works. Do you get my point? Let me just put it there.
This is powerful. Thank you so much. That even helped some of us who didn't think that question was something that was relevant. Another person said, why is it that pastors teach more of spiritual dimension of success? Well, we can't speak for all pastors, but
okay.
So you want to say something about that?
Yeah, sure. You know, I used to pastor churches before. So I totally understand. And I don't honestly, any pastor that is doing, honestly speaking, the work of pastoring is spiritual by nature. All right? But my personal understanding, and I'm not trying to cast aspersion on anybody, the word spiritual means unseen. All right? So it says the things that are seen we are made out of the unseen. But the things that are unseen are two dimensions. There's a spiritual dimension, there's a dimension of the soul. And I think that sometimes the most effective pastors are able to address spiritual realities and realities of the soul. The most effective. And when I mean effective, go and check the people they have raised after them, not the people that are just following them. Two different things. There are people that are following, but that, you see, because one of the proof of the shepherd is the sheep, not the shepherd himself. Do you get my point?
Yes.
So you prosper even as your soul prospers. But if you focus on the soul alone, there are dimensions of the spirit that you can't even understand, because the soul is also a place that there's a lot of things going on there that if you're not careful, you can actually get messed up. But the spirit brings balance, but we operate primarily from the soul. So if you see a pastor that you love, is a great person and all that, then meet them and approach them and ask them, what about this area? Sir, the Bible says, for example, that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. What does that mean, sir? Then he will tell you that thinketh in his heart means he's thinking in his spirit. He says, sir, does the spirit think? Because because the Bible says that you reason in your heart. So reasoning is not in your head, sir. Reason is your heart. By the time you have this conversation, it will make him go and study more, and he becomes a better pastor. So don't go ahead to just castigate people. Sometimes that's the training or the scope, but there's a lot more people that I realize that are able to understand this dimension. So they teach spiritual realities, but you're able to apply it from a soul dimension. So let's stop there.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. I think that's why a lot of us don't even these days we don't have one pastor. We're feeding here, This one is feeding me spiritually.
That's the thing.
This one is feeding.
Yes.
It's the internet.
That's actually what happened.
Thank you so much. I think the last question for today is, please, what would renegotiating a career path look like, particularly for students being affected by the ASU strike? I think I really love this. It's part of the dreams that I have. Like during this program, I might do something for people in ASU. I mean, currently being affected by ASU. What do you think about
Listen to me. You know, any students that has not learned anything in the last 1 month or 1 year, the problem is not the school. The problem is the students. I'll say it again. And if you don't like me, you can log off. Any student that's not learned anything because ASU is on strike, the problem is not ASU. The problem is the students. Now, if you're humble enough, I'll explain to you. Because you can go to school and not be educated. Don't we have enough people like that? Yes. So school, if our education in school is not necessarily what you studied, it is how you studied what you studied. It is that they gave you group assignments and from there you learned teamwork. It's that they gave you assignments and you did it in your room before coming to the class and you learned responsibility without supervision. That is education.
Yes.
Listen to me. There is so much. I didn't have the privilege of internet today like you have. A serious student will sit down every morning from 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock and go to YouTube University, turn off TikTok, turn off Instagram, turn off everything and be educated. Learn a skill. Listen to me. You can resume to school as a millionaire. It was tough in my time. Into your own time, it is easy.
Yes.
So don't tell me now, should ASU resume? Yes. The best you will get is a degree, not guaranteed education. I live in America right now. There are people that all you need to do is go and get. They don't even, once you go and do Scrum Master, business analysis, all those things. They don't even ask you. They don't ask for your BSc. They ask for what you are able to do. So you can be a student today and learn some of these skills and outpace your colleagues. So again, ASU. Now we want ASU to resume, but there's nothing Tewe and I can do other than pray. But you don't focus on what you cannot do. You focus on what you can do. Be serious with your life. Because time is going. Time is passing. And you are blaming ASU. I will say it again. If you are blaming ASU, you are not serious. In your time, maybe my own time, because there was ASU strike. We didn't have internet. We have to go to something center. What do you call it? Cafe.
Cassava Cafe. Yes.
Today you have your phone. My sister, my brother. Now, no, you do better. Okay, don't feel bad, Mr. Student or Mrs. Student. All right, just change from tomorrow. Turn off your phone every single day. read 5 hours, meet people. Hey, meet people. Go for events. Go on Eventbrite. Is there any free events near you?
Free events.
Attend those things. When you get there and there's time for question and answer, you ask an intelligent question. Someone in the crowd will take note of you. So what do you do? So, they will give you internship. Listen to me. The problem is not also the problem is of village people, and I've killed them tonight. Let me stop there.
Wow. I love this. This is it. But sir, I'm just keep asking for. We're not saying your certificate is not relevant.
No, let's even talk about that. I understand. People are asking for BSc Mass Communication for digital marketing jobs. Let me tell you, the people that ask for it, out of 100, there's only 10 of them that ask for it. There are SMEs today that if you can demonstrate you can handle their page effectively, they will give you the job without a certificate.
Yes.
So we have to begin to shift the narrative. Any place now, typically, listen to me, in Nigeria, more than 80% of the businesses in Nigeria are not large corporates. They are not even the mid-scale organization. They are SMEs and MSMEs. Let me tell you, those guys, hardly do they ask for BSc. They ask, who did you do it for? You did it before? I will hire you.
Yes.
So please, don't let that thing limit you. It's a lie.
I agree, absolutely. And in my work in global talent acquisition for certain international organizations, a lot of times when I'm headhunting, I'm not looking for computer science. If I'm looking for a tech talent, a developer, I'm not looking for whether you studied computer science. How long have you been a front-end developer? How long have you been doing full stack? It's your experience, not what you studied. A lot of people can't work after studying. So it's really few, like you said, really few people that start looking for them. I studied geography in my first degree. In my second degree, wow, geography. My second degree is diplomacy and strategy. They have nothing to do with my work in HR or operations or business support. Nothing. So guys, this is value, a lot of value. Today I saw somebody went to return his certificate to Lautech. He said he has not gotten a job. I thought it was funny, but I mean, I just said it as well. So people are showing a trend of getting pregnant during this ASU period. I saw it and I said, oh my God. So you make a decision what you want to do with the time. You've heard it all. You've heard it all tonight. Wow, thank you so much, sir. This has been a value for our time. And I know somebody's destiny have shifted. Some of us will have to listen to this again. I have to listen to it again. Thank you. We're so grateful. Guys, I want you to show some love in the comment section. But beyond that, you're going to do a screenshot as well. You know how we do it in this program. So you do a screenshot and you're going to post this after this our program. And you write something that jumped out for you, something you learned, the light you caught. You're going to write it and you're going to tag us. Please do the screenshot now. As always, don't screenshot us when we're looking ugly. Screenshot us now. And then after the
Timmy, you have to tell them what you do about global talent, you know, and all that. Can you do that very quickly?
Okay, I'll do that. So, I mean, I started as a freelancer, and that's why I still freelance. And I've grown from my work. I started as being a virtual assistant, right? And I remember many years ago, especially during the advent of COVID, I sent a message to on Instagram to a lot of thought leaders to say, okay, COVID has come. I'm launching a virtual assistant agency to support you in your business. So I was doing that, but I was also doing that for people as well, not just having a team who do that. But over the last few years, I have grown from being that support system to organizations to being a global talent acquisition specialist, because a lot of international organizations are coming to Africa. They are looking for talent. They recognize the capacity of Africans, and a lot of them can't just come in. So I cover West Africa for certain organizations. We recruit for companies like PwC, for example, Poland, the US. So in my work in doing that, a lot of times I go to LinkedIn to look for talent. I go to, I have a community as well. I share this post with them. If you are qualified, you come in, we do the interview process. And then if you qualified after the series of interviews, you are taken. A lot of people have gotten the jobs. In fact, they just sent a laptop to someone last week. They sent it all the way from the United States, a MacBook for him, because they want him to do the job on their laptop. So that's what I do in that area. And that's why I train people as well who want to become a freelancer, because freelancing was my own vehicle to penetrate the global markets. Like I want to freelance for international organizations, not a business, not a physical or tangible business, but my services, my ideas, my skills.
Love it.
So that's how I did that.
That's great. So guys, follow Timmy, this thing about, freelancing, it's huge globally. That's the gig economy and all that. And I think that a lot of people with the realities, particularly maybe like you believe in Nigeria and all that, you can explore. And listen to me, there's something called the fluidity of career paths today. You can actually switch easily. And listen to me, technology is a field that can accommodate a lot more people than we currently have. All right. So sometimes for some people, they might need to get into that space to get out of the survival mindset, and then they can now, let me say this, so many people, they enter, they now start earning $100,000 and they think that's the end of the world. No. What you do is you leverage your 6 digits to be able to now have global relevance. Not just to have 3 houses and 2 cars. No, that's not the goal. Right? The goal still remains significance at the end of the day.
Yes. Thank you so much. That was powerful. And thank you for making me talk about it, because even me, I hardly talk about what I do too.
You've got to be bold about it. Awesome.
So this has been an enlightening session for me as well. I've learned I have to start announcing what I do as well. But thank you so much, sir. This has been great. It's been value. Thank you. I'm really, really grateful. And I know everyone
to see you at the Exponential Conference.
Absolutely. I'm coming. Right. Absolutely coming. And I want to be among the 20. I don't want to be in the crowd.
The link is in my bio. The link is in my bio. Once the 20 get filled, then that's it. So that's what it is. All right.
Awesome. Thank you so much, sir. Guys, I guess we've done the screenshots. We're going to see you. Thank you so much, sir. We allow you go now. Thank you. Really, really grateful. Guys, okay, Nigeria limitation. Never just took the light. Thank you all so much for being a part of this. Every Friday, I have this conversation, and I have people. That is not her LinkedIn page. It's Temitope Olukunle. Oh, people are asking for my LinkedIn page. Oh, Temitope Olukunle is the name on LinkedIn. But if you go to my bio, you will see my LinkedIn page. You'll be able to see, every other thing you need to see. So you can have access to my LinkedIn page from my bio. And this video, of course, the replay will be saved on my page, and it will be saved on YouTube. I can take it off my page anytime. So you want to go to YouTube to subscribe, so that when I have all this video uploaded, you have access to them. But I just really want to say thank you, guys. I'm really grateful that you guys are part of this. OUTNOVATE with Temi is a session I have, and I plan to have every Friday. And I'm hoping that I will have guests. Sometimes I speak alone, but I have people, great minds, who will be a part of the program, shifting the narrative, just really ensuring that we're growing as a people, we're moving, we're advancing, we're stretching. And today has been a phenomenal time. Of course, you all agree. We've had a great guest, and I want you all guys to love upon him. Today he's shifted us. All of the things he said, I know some of you still need to listen to this again, because you need to take action. Execution is the name of the game. We've heard a lot. It's not about belonging to 1,000 WhatsApp groups or attending conferences. Execution is the name of the game. So guys, please execute, do something about it, right? Implement. And then I have, September. Thank you, Sandra. Sandra, you're doing a good job. Thank you. So I have a coaching program. Every month I launch a coaching program, or every other month. So I have my coaching program opened up for September for people who are on this call, who want to start their global penetration through freelancing. You want to start working with the international organizations online. You want to penetrate cultures through your ideas and your services through freelancing. Yes, I still have space. So you can send me a DM as well, and then we'll take the conversation up. It's a 1-month freelance course. So yes, that's a 1-month freelance course. So you can reach out and we'll take the conversation from there. Thank you so much, guys. Is there any other question? Please talk about your September freelance, because yes, I have my LinkedIn handle is Temitope Olukunle. Thank you so much. Olaiton, I see you requesting to be a part of my life. Do you want to come on? I don't know why, but I guess we have to shut down. This has been value for time, and I just want to appreciate every one of you guys for being a part of this. So send a DM, send a message if there's anything, any inquiry, but go to the link in my bio. You see the links to any other social media platform that I belong to, especially LinkedIn. So we're going to shut down in 5 seconds. Thank you all. I'll be waiting for your screenshots. Tag us in the post. Mention what jumped out for you, what you've learned, what was valuable for you, and then we'll take it up from there. I'm going to shut down in 5 seconds. So do have a wonderful night. Next week, Friday, we meet again with another guest, having another conversation. And of course, I'm going to see you guys. Thank you. House of Gigi. Thank you, Giola. Thank you, babe. Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone who has been a moderator in the chat box. Your eyes. Thank you so much. Sandra, thank you so much. That's amazing. I'm not able to look out for myself when I'm speaking. And thank you guys for being a backup. And every other person, of course. I'm grateful. Thank you so much. And thank you for the follow. I see people following. Thank you. You guys still have a wonderful night. Let me go before I blush too much. Do have a wonderful night, guys. So we'll see you next week, Friday.